Summer of Culture. We spoke about this a little while back, but
We did.
Tell me when the idea first came into your head.
Just after Hidden Beach Festival last year, so it would have been around September, October. Started to think about what could we do to kind of keep progressing with this whole music entertainment that we do. And I kind of felt that even though Hidden Beach started off sort of doing events every month, and it obviously turned into a festival, and it just became literally once a year kind of activity. I kind of wanted to go back to this idea of kind of continuous programming, and I thought, wouldn't it be great if in August we basically did a whole program that went out through the month. Sounded a bit ambitious, so I started looking online at different ideas, and funny enough, I was looking at the I think it was the London Jazz Festival. It talks about fringe events and all this kind of stuff, and I thought, great, let's get other venues involved, a whole summer of activity. So I've gone into AI and I'm giving it my ideas about, how this would work, what have I got to be cautious about, trying to get, as you do.
Yeah.
And it said, and it sort of said a summer of culture, and I thought, I love that. A summer of culture. And so that became the kind of, if you like, name of the event. So every time I refer to it, it would come back and sort of, the Summer of Culture project. A bit ambitious at the beginning because a lot of the program was centralised. Quite a lot of events that I was trying to sort of put together. And by the time we got to January, we started to sort of look at how we could integrate various other events that were going on around in August, and also looking at different spaces and places that we don't normally put on events. Places like Jenny Lind is a classic one, and looking at that programming and seeing how we could integrate that. And of course, here the kitchen, integrating food into the program. So yeah.
Fantastic. And so, of course, you kind of stole a march on the of culture handle, which is, so the timing couldn't have been better. It must have been just a few months after that the government started talking about the town of culture, and of course Hastings got very excited because I think we're in with a good shout. But you've kind of like beaten everyone to the punch. So it doesn't really matter whether we get that town of culture, even if we get onto the shortlist. We're doing it anyway.
We're doing it anyway.
You're doing it anyway.
Well, we're all doing it.
No, you're the man. You're the man for this. But in all seriousness, I think it's got to put down a strong marker for us. If the judges at the moment are still reading through the paperwork and looking at all the submissions to decide who's going to be on the long list, if they spot that we're doing this, you're doing this already, that's got to be a strong thing for them to see, to think, actually Hastings does deserve this, because they're doing it already, and we just, what they would then be doing is amplifying it even further.
Absolutely. I feel that, for me, I've just always been, quite ambitious. I'm always, what if we could do this, and what if we could do that? So the idea of, bringing all these different ideas together and expanding it beyond music and looking at art and looking at film and, all these various different forms of art, to me is something that I've always wanted to kind of consider. The timing was just perfect, I guess, when we're talking about culture as a kind of overarching way of expressing ourselves, and community. Community and culture, both these words go hand in hand. And again, looking at the kitchen, we started off talking about, calling it a community kitchen, inviting people in to sort of share food ideas and bake cakes and whatever it was, and share that with the community, and sort of say, how do we incorporate that into other things that we want to do? How do we bridge that gap between various different actors that are doing different things? It's all part of culture. How do we bring it together and celebrate it as one?
Perfect. Okay, well, what I've got here is a whole bunch of there's always a bit of activity on the Stade, isn't there? There's always a bit of activity on the Stade. There's always things going on. So I went through your Facebook profile earlier on today because I saw another post about another part of the event that I hadn't seen before, and I thought, actually, let's just let that one go on by. But I thought, okay, where can I find all of this? And of course, I found it on your Facebook profile. So I was going through and I was seeing this thing. I've seen the Jenny Lind, I've seen the Electric Palace, and loads of stuff I hadn't even realised you're doing. So could you do me a favour and just quickly flick through these? I think you need to go backwards on this because it's in no particular order. But just go through them one at a time, because you probably can't even remember all of them. And just tell us in a few words. Tell us about each of these things.
Cool. So Corson Saka, Afrobeat. So Corson Saka, he was part of a band that I brought to Hastings. You put me on the spot now. I'm trying to remember the name of the band.
Don't worry.
Awale Jant. So basically, several years ago, I got invited to come and DJ on the pier, and I was sort of thinking, could we increase the budget a bit more and we'd turn it into a proper event? So Afro Basilica was born out of that, and this band called Awale Jant brought to Hastings, and it was an amazing kind of music activity. And Corson Saka reached out to me. He was a band member and said, he'd like to bring, his band as well. And I thought, brilliant, excellent. You come along, we'll get DJ Afrodesi to support that event, and that's at Printworks. So I think it's actually the first event of the whole kind of Summer of Culture thing that we're doing.
Well, that's good that was the first one on there, because that's completely random.
Yeah.
I bet that screen's gone to sleep,
gone,
hasn't it?
and
Let's have a look. Let's get on to this. Come on to the next one. So next one up, we got. It's titled "Light Up the Room." Is that actually the title of the thing, or is that? Yep.
Let's have a look and see what that one's about. Oh yes. Okay. So this came about because I reached out and said, it'd be really nice to start to look at different spaces and places that we can make these events happen, not just the sort of usual places. And somebody reached out from St Andrew's Mews, and so I sort of went round there, and I thought, wow, this could be an amazing place to put on an event. Spoke to a few of the shop holders, and they were sort of all up for it. And then one of our volunteers, Louise, she took on the task of reaching out to quite a lot of bands, as you can see there, and we put the program together. So that's, I think, on the 31st of So on the Saturday the 1st of August, at St Andrew's Mews, all-day family event, and mainly a kind of an acoustic kind of unplugged session, and we called it One Nation Under a Muse. It's kind of play on the whole One Nation Under a Groove thing, where we basically have various different music, arts, genre coming together.
Fantastic. Right, okay, let's wait. I knew that was going to happen. Let's just lie down there. So up next. Bit of a colour contrast thing there. I can't quite read that because it's black on red, but I'm sure you can tell me what that one is.
Oh yes. Yeah. Now this is an interesting one.
Okay.
Fenella. Fenella is a flamenco dancer that I've worked with for many years, and we wanted to invite her back because every time she does the main stage, it's always a lot of people are quite interested in that. So we got together with Eat at the Park to put on Flamenco in the Park, and I'm going to admit to this, and I messed up the dates. So the date that we booked her for and the date of that we had at the park was slightly out of sync. Let's just say out of sync. So by that time we'd already kind of put the art ideas together, and we pushed it out there, and it got such a lot of feedback. Everyone really liked the kind of concept. So we thought, we can't rush this. So what we did is we created a registration page. So now we're collecting the kind of interest in this page, and we're probably going to do it just after the Summer of Culture, so it's probably going to be right at the tail end of that event. That's the Flamenco in the Park.
Excellent. And then what I love about it is it's everything's different.
Yeah.
This is not a single one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I know you definitely were keen to talk about, and this is key workers. Because this is a big part of this. So you probably don't even need this in front of you, but I'll give it to you for consistency. Yes.
Yeah.
So tell us all about this angle on things.
Yeah, I mean, it's all born out of the fact that I used to be, a nurse myself, and more recently I'm a maths teacher. So we're key workers. I also worked for the ambulance service. So I've had many careers, if you like, that involves, we do hard work, and I thought it was a good idea to recognise that, especially having been someone that's been on, in the workforce. So we obviously look to give away as many concessions as we can to support, people that want to come to the festival, because we like that diversity. this year we have focused quite a lot on key workers. So we're reaching out to people that work in healthcare, people that work in education, etc., people that work for armed forces, everyone. Some people, every now and then I'll get a message like, what about, this sector? So absolutely, anyone that's doing a job that, as far as I'm concerned, we should be showing support for is absolutely invited to get in touch and get free tickets to the festival. The other thing I want to say is that, when I was nursing, one of the things that we always recognise is how challenging it is to always be able to support those that are looking after people in need. We call it caring for the carers, and this campaign goes out to them as well. So if you're someone who isn't even officially in a job as a carer, but you're caring for someone, I'd love to hear from you, even more so. Really more so.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, what I'm picking up from all of this is this isn't some big money making scheme, is it?
No, it's. I can think of slightly easier ways of making a living, and this isn't one of them. I actually think you've got to be slightly crazy. I think you know that.
I know that. Been there, yeah.
Just to give you an idea of, I was here till 6 a.m. on my screen. I just couldn't get away. I was like, no, I have to finish this. And then, you put that down, and then it's another crazy task, and it just goes on and on and on. Yeah, you've got to be slightly bonkers to want to take on the challenge, but actually, I just couldn't think of anything else I'd rather do. If I'm honest, this is my calling. I just want to see people have a good time.
That and teaching maths.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really seem to gel, does it?
No. In the last 10 years, I studied radiography, nursing, and then I became a maths teacher. And, I did it because I needed to really financially support myself whilst I took on this quite ambitious way of life, which is to kind of be this kind of community-driven kind of promoter, event organizer. Yeah. And I know that wasn't going to pay me, so I needed a job. I'm also quite interested in potentially, we'll see how we get on after August, but I'm quite interested in the idea of, bringing that maths tuition and teaching into the whole Hidden Beach fold as well.
I mean,
we'll see how we go.
There's a mash-up and a half. What have we got here? There's another one for you.
The Abashanti. We pay so much respect to this guy. Love this guy. So, Abashanti, everyone will know, dub, roots, culture is, Abashanti is synonymous with it. Followings all around the world. Absolutely honoured that this guy would entertain performing for Hidden Beach, which he did. I think the first one was about 3-4 years ago at St Mary in the Castle, and that was a beautiful evening. I think that was followed the following year. We did the Swan Song there, which essentially is the fact that he played the last ever gig at St Mary in the Castle before it shut down. And we're honoured to have him back at the Hidden Beach Festival. So what we're going to do is he will be on the over as well, but we've got 2 separate areas. So we're going to have the sound system area where he will be, then we'll have the main stage sort of as far away as possible so that we don't get the sort of noise spillage, at least reduce that as much as we can. So yeah, really looking forward to that. And he will play, the times have changed, he will play between 3 and 7. Cool. So get there early, and
because that's gonna be a highlight for a lot of people.
Absolutely,
that is.
Yeah.
So this next one I've got here, actually, it's not an event, it's a brand. So you have got a bit of advertising going on here.
Oh right,
yeah.
Booyah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give them a big up. Sure.
Yes,
yeah.
Booyah. Yes. So the Hidden Beach Summer Culture magazine. It's not going to pay for itself. So of course we need to get some advertising in. And what we thought we'd do is we'd reach out to brands that we love, brands that we think are doing a really cool thing, community minded. And Booyah, we think it's essentially a healthy alternative to a nice, cool drink. So we reached out to them, and they absolutely like the idea of getting involved. I'm hoping this year to organise for them to sort of be part of the sort of bar area, so you'll be able to hopefully get booyah drinks at the festival this year.
Cool. Excellent. Yeah. No, we like a brand that is a respectable local.
Right, mate, how you doing?
Good quality brand. Here we go. Another one.
Natasha Kitty Cat. Natasha Kitty Cat. I've never met Natasha Kitty Cat, but I do know that she's an amazing DJ. I'm so excited that she agreed to play the Hidden Beach Festival. I reached out to her. It took me about an hour trying to write this message that I hope she would respond positively to. And she did. She agreed to headline the Love Sensation Festival, because I like to confuse things, all these things flying all over the place. So essentially, Hidden Beach Festival is taking place on the 8th and the 9th. The 8th is the kind of world music, live music mashup, if you like, and family day and all that kind of stuff. Sunday is very much disco and dance led. So we've called that Love Sensation after the Lolita Holloway track called Love Sensation, of course. And Natasha Kitty Cat is headlining that. She's going to be on probably around the sort of 6-7 o'clock time of the evening. So we're looking forward to that.
Nice one. So like a little festival within a festival almost.
Yeah.
What do we got there? That's bit about food here. There's your food page.
Yes. Hidden Beach, Kitchen and Dynamite.
Yeah, we've spoken a bit about the food.
Yes.
But anything more you want to say about the food angle?
Yes. So we started the community kitchen so that we could continue with not just having food at festivals, but we could do food all year round and integrate various different aspects of the community, which of course is food. One of those is food. So Dynamite, they are, if you like, the kind of catering side of what we do, Hidden Beach, when we're doing it in-house, etc. You've met Anthony, you've met Diane. Anthony is head of Jerk Chicken Master. He does his thing. How you doing, man?
The Grand Master of the Jerk.
Absolutely, yeah. And we set up every weekend at the if you know the Stade Hall, then you'll probably know there's a kitchen next to it, that's what the food offering is. We're sort of developing a number of food type operations. We're trying to do things that are very much pay it forward led. Just quick shout out to Ross. How you doing? All right. We're trying to do a few things there, and of course bring a various offering of food throughout the whole weekend. Friday from 6 through till Sunday, usually around 6 o'clock as well.
Nice one, excellent. What have we got here? This one, I think actually this is just behind us in the Hastings Sea angling.
Sound system culture. Yes. This is an event that came about because reggae is one of those things that, as a kid growing up, I remember being in one of my brother's houses, and he used to have sound systems, and my job in the morning was to sort of go around and sort of clear around all the bit cans and all that stuff off the floor and all this kind of stuff. And you were talking sound systems like your Saxons and your various other Coxsone and all these different sound systems used to play there, and a lot of that history it's getting to the point now where if it doesn't get told or if it doesn't get expressed, it's going to be lost forever. So one of the things I wanted to do was sound system culture, because when I came to Hastings, I had no idea about the kind of sound system culture of Hastings, but I did hear about this sound system called Dub Generals. And I thought, okay, cool. But what that did is it inspired me to bring reggae also into the fold, because I'm very much a kind of soul, jazz, that's my thing, but I've grown up with reggae, so I wanted to kind of pay homage to that. The fact that I've come to this town, these guys have basically been championing the music since I came here in 2007, and I thought you owe it to the community to give something back. So Dub Generals Sound System Culture support at the EHSAA venue,
which is the one right behind us. Yeah, absolutely. I sometimes get the two confused. It's definitely this one. That's great. Poetic Funk.
Poetic Funk, yes. First time I came across Poetic Poetic Funk was watching a video. It just reminded me of, you know, the 80s and the rare groove scenes and watching Soul Train and all these really cool people dancing. And it was like a kind of outdoor space. Everyone was getting down, and I thought, I need to bring these guys to Hastings. And we did, and it was such a beautiful evening. This was at Printworks. I remember they played this track, Womack and Womack, Life is Just a Ball Game. I've not heard that track in 40 years, and I thought, these guys, they play the music that I totally forgot, or wasn't even aware that you could do that in a club. And I was seeing the way that everyone was reacting to that. So yeah, Poetic Funk. And every year since we've had the festival, we've created a Poetic Funk 10. It's been tricky because of the noise bleed. The Oval's only so big. I mean, it's a big place, but it's not enough to have, you know, half a dozen different sound zones. Poetic Funk, they have the after part, what we call the after party. Again, Remi, confusing. So, you know, on the 8th there's an after party, and that's usually at Printworks, and this one is at Printworks. Poetic Funk and crew.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I think we've got another venue coming up. Humble Hub.
Humble Hub, yes, Joe at the Humble Hub. So the very various aspects of community obviously has to include wellness. It's also something that sort of connects with my nursing days of looking at care and thinking about it holistically. So, you know, wellness is one of those things that, you know, I started off thinking, how am I going to integrate this? I don't know. But I just knew that every year I would try and chip away at it, bring more people in. And then the amazing Joe and the Humble Hub sort of came out of nowhere. I was like, wow, this place is amazing. So connected with Joe, talked a bit about Hidden Beach and what we're trying to do. She talked about the Humble Hub and thought, what an amazing place to be able to, you know, curate events and all sorts of wellness activities. So this year they put together a special program, several events taking place. I think it's 1 or 2 each week over the throughout of August. And yeah, that's at the Humble Hub in St Leonard's.
Nice one. Okay. You mentioned the Jenny Lind earlier, and we're on the Jenny Lind page, and there's a lot of stuff going on the Jenny Lind.
There is a lot of stuff going on at the Jenny Lind, and I would be lying if I said yes, and I sort of curated this whole selection of, no, I did not. You know, Jenny Lind are amazing at programming. They don't need me coming along and adding to their program, but I did add I think at least one event, and that's called She Plays, We Listens, which is actually the opening night.
Okay.
So She Plays, We Listen. The idea behind that was actually supposed to be at the Delaware, but unfortunately they didn't have the venue space available at the time. The idea behind that is we were going to celebrate women in music industry, and I just wanted to have, you know, sort of 4 different artists that would come along, talk about what they do, how it happened for them, and perform, and we would sit back and just listen. And so eventually we moved that to the Jenny Lind. So we have 4 artists playing. I think is that the 1st or the 3rd? I think it's the 31st. It's either the 1st of August or the 3rd. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's at Jenny Lind. So that's a whole month of program. And if you go for the live, you can see some amazing different acts. And I think we also do the closing event as well in terms of Hidden Beach programmed, which is Prince Trino and Afro. Is that right?
Well, you could be giving away a secret because it's got TBA on here.
Oh, is it really?
Yes. So maybe you've just given away a secret. I don't know.
So it's Prince Trino. It's Afro Beat.
Gotcha.
We have an live Afrobeat band on the final of the Jenny Lind programming. Because we had to go to copy, and it was one of those situations where we could not be 100% sure.
That's cool. That's cool. So you kind of heard it here first.
You've heard it here first. Yeah.
And directly across the road, very different again, Electric Palace.
Electric Palace every Friday. Don't ask me what films, I can't remember. All I can remember is whenever it's the Social Club. But essentially every Friday we have programming. Actually, on this instance, what's happened is they've invited me to curate every Friday's films. So we have gone with Black Office, One of Us a Social Club, Summer of Soul, Searching for Sugar Man, and Babylon. Every Friday, if you fancy
Excellent
it.
choice. Sugarman's a great one.
Yeah.
Have we got any left? There can't be more left. There is. There's another venue. We got
really?
it's the Albion.
Oh, right, yeah, Albion.
yeah.
Well, this was a programme I guess this is a collective effort, because what Adam Daly does is obviously gets DJs together. He's got this amazing concept where we all get together in a group, and we pick which Friday we want to come spin some vinyl, keep it real.
Yeah.
Did that last year, absolutely loved it. So I can't remember what day I'm playing. I think it might be towards, you might have to tell me, I don't know. Am I in there? I can't remember, but I'm playing one of the sets, but it's basically a lineup of DJs once a week playing throughout the August. I think it's already been going, isn't it? I think it's in July.
I think it's Saturday, 1st of August. Got 1st of August is the first one.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I think there's already programming, but this programme is specific to August.
Gotcha. No, that is cool. Right, and then we've done that, so that's a roundup of a whole lot of other stuff we've already done. And that's it. I mean, except that I've just... the next picture I get is Fatboy Slim doing his more disco.
Right.
He should be right up your street.
I have no idea, but did I share that with you?
No, that was one. That was actually from yesterday. That was the anti-fascism.
Wow,
so it's more disco,
okay.
less fascism.
Ah, yes.
Because and Fatboy Slim was DJing that.
Ah, indeed.
It was the
Maybe
anti-
next year we can get Fatboy Slim to come and.
You never know. Well,
Who knows?
there we go. Come on, mate. You heard it, the invite. You can't turn that one down now.
Exactly. Here you go. Yeah.
I was stood behind him in a guest list queue once to see Happy Mondays on the pier at Brighton.
Yeah.
And there was a bit of an argument going on, and they were going, I can't find your name, mate. You can't find. And he was going Norman Cook, and then he went, oh, about try my DJ name, and then the woman goes, hey, what's that then?
Brilliant. Oh, brilliant.
Okay, no, that is absolutely fantastic. That's a great place to round up. I hope that has been recording.
We are.
And sun's out, summer's here.
Beautiful day.
But it just summer of culture. We spoke about this a little while back, but
We did.